Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods here on this finally freaking Friday. Thank God. Take a look down here, guys. Take a look. 76 days, 10 hours, 27 minutes, and 20 seconds away from kickoff. By the time we do our live stream tonight, we'll be at 75 days until the season gets started. We have on the 26th of July, training camp will be open. The players will be going out there on the 25th. Guys, we're talking about a month from now. Training camp will be open. We are on the downhill side, and this weekend, we'll be seeing our greatest, newest player in Micah Parsons will be at the Chantilly CSA show this weekend. We will be there on Sunday. If you are roundabout and all that, me and Michael Anthony will be there. I know David Wiley said he wanted to go. I have not talked to him recently to find out for sure if he'll be there or not, but I can guarantee you I'll be there. Joe Boo will be there, and Micah Parsons will be there as well. And we are delivering a special message from our buddy Stuart Morrison to Micah Parsons that we hope he will deliver to the team. So with that being said, we have some interesting stuff this morning. You know, we're going to try and dig deep into this conversation. You know, I do enjoy the Rich Eisen show quite a bit because Rich Eisen, you know, he's not a Cowboy fan, but he doesn't seem to have the narrative that others have against the Dallas Cowboys. He seems to speak truth to power, and he seems to be more fair than most people are when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. Yesterday, my troubles seem so far away, and I can't sing. Jason Garrett was on his show giving some advice for Mike McCarthy, and Rich Eisen tried to dig a little deeper and tried to get him to talk about Jerry Jones and if Jerry Jones was part of the problem with the Cowboys. Let's actually go to the interview because it's actually pretty good. You know, Jason Garrett, I've got nothing against him personally. I think Jason Garrett is a very intelligent man, Princeton graduate, although sometimes I think Jason Garrett outsmarted himself because he thought he was too damn smart, and I think the Cowboys held on to him for too long. I think he had too many opportunities for winning it all and just couldn't get it done. But that doesn't mean that I don't like him as a person. But let's go to the tape. Jason, take it away.
I am here. Can you hear me?
Hey, Coach. It's like you're sitting next to me.
I felt like that was amateur hour on my end. I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Is that a broadcasting rookie mistake to just hop on your cell phone and do stuff like that? I mean, that could be that, Jason.
Yeah, I think so.
Know.
I think so. I'm not that seasoned veteran that you are.
You know what, Jason? I can help with that sort of stuff from now on for you. Congratulations on that gig with NBC. Congrats on that.
Yeah, really excited about it, Rich. I had the opportunity to do these USFL games all spring with the crew from NBC, and I just can't tell you how impressed I am with everybody at NBC. It's been an incredible experience right from the get-go, and to have the opportunity to continue that this fall is really exciting for me.
And so, what is your plan this fall? What exactly are you going to be doing with NBC this fall? I think I know, but I'll just let you reveal what you got.
Yeah, I'm going to be part of the Sunday night show, Football Night in America.
We get to see more Jason
with
Garrett.
Coach Dungy and Maria Taylor and Chris Sims and the whole crew that they have up there. And again, it's an extension of the work I've done in the USFL. And I've gotten to know those guys really well through the years because with the Cowboys we were always playing 3 Sunday night games, so they became friends of mine, and just to have the opportunity to work with them. Again, both in the USFL and now in the fall is exciting.
Yeah, I know, and you've got 3 Cowboys Sunday night football games already on the docket. You know how things can get flexed around as well and flexed into right off the bat, Dallas and Tampa. And so, obviously you are going to be asked to be analytical and sometimes critical of the Dallas Cowboys or anybody that you may know and appreciate, certainly the Giants organization as well. What is your take on what the Cowboys have done this offseason? My opinion is that they haven't taken a step forward. They've taken a step back. What are your thoughts on the subject matter, Jason?
Well, first of all, they had an awfully good year last year, and they didn't get the job done against San Francisco in the playoff game, and so the starting point is probably it's a really good football team, and I know many of those guys. We drafted many of them, and I know the kind of men they have in that locker room and the leaders they have in that locker room, and there's no doubt in my mind that they're going to respond the right way. One of the things that's been really impressive to me about the organization and that team is, they've continued the off-season program, the work ethic that has been such a big part of that program. This past year, you hear stories about everybody being there, 100% attendance all throughout the off-season program. And again, I know Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott, all those guys that they have been the cornerstone players on that team. So they'll respond the right way. The business of football is challenging, as we all know. You get these big-time players, and they have opportunities to go elsewhere in free agency, and it's hard to keep everybody. So sometimes people will look at that and say, hey, boy, there's this mass exodus. I don't know about that. I know they got a lot of really good cornerstone players there who've been great players for a long time, and they're excited about the young players they have. So I wouldn't bet against this team.
So what advice would you give Mike McCarthy? I know he's got a trophy in the case. He's been around quite a bit and has his own frame of reference. But Dan Quinn is sitting there, defensive coordinator, and Jerry's already even said publicly, like, so many defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators stick around because they know they have a shot at the job eventually, using your name, even in that soundbite, to prove a point that's why Dan Quinn stuck around. And McCarthy still has the job, even though a vote of confidence was just given by Jerry moments a couple days ago because of Sean Payton's name. So what advice would you give Mike McCarthy, Jason Garrett, having been in that position yourself for as long as you were?
Well, I think the biggest thing for any head coach and really for any player in the NFL is really just focus on yourself and what you need to do to be your best. And I know that's a cliche, and everyone thinks that, well, that's coach speak and all of that, but it's so true, and it's so true certainly in a place like Dallas. There's a lot of people who make their living speculating about things and digging things up and stirring things up. That's just the world that we live in. The days of Walter Cronkite telling you the news as it is, at 6 o'clock every weekday evening, those are long gone. It's 24-hour news cycles, and we're trying to stir the pot. And
you're
so
right
when
about
you're
that.
in those roles, you have to just really focus on what you need to do to be your best. And this was a theme that we tried to use with all of our players through the years. Players getting into Twitter wars and all of this kind of stuff. It's like, hey, let's just lock in on what we need to do each day to be our best. And when you're preaching that message to your team, sometimes you got to preach it to yourself. And you got to say, hey, everything that I'm trying to share with these guys to help them individually be their best, to help our team be its best, sometimes you got to say, hey, I got to remind myself of those things. And not that you think about it a lot, but you're asked about it a lot. And so you just kind of lock in and say, hey, this is what I need to do to be my best today. Mike obviously is a fantastic coach, has been for a long time. He understands the importance of doing that. And I think they have a really good team. And they obviously have a really good head coach and a lot of good players. And they got a chance to be a good team this year.
What is it like to be in a meeting with Jerry Jones after a loss, Jason? What is that like?
Oh, Jerry Jones he's a fascinating guy.
Yes, he is.
You don't have the success that he's had throughout his life and really everything he's touched. He has amazing abilities. He has amazing wisdom and intelligence about so many different topics. And I would say he was incredible after losses. He was incredible, when times were tough. His support for coaches and for players, and when the football part of it was tough, or things in your individual life were challenging, their deaths and those kinds of things. I mean, he was incredible, and I saw the examples through the years when I was playing there, when I was coaching there, when things like that happened for me. I felt it personally. So, there's a perception about Jerry Jones, and I think some of it from the outside might be accurate, but there are a lot of stuff.
Some of it might be accurate.
A certain way that I simply don't agree with. And I'm very fortunate to have the opportunity to have played for him and to have coached for him for many years. And he's really made my life better. So I got nothing but great things to say about Jerry Jones.
No, and I'm not fishing for you to say something negative about him, Jason.
Yes, you are.
So I can stipulate that. It's just it is a fast. You said he's incredible and he is fascinating. It just there's the general sense in Dallas that after all this time that he'll put his finger in the pot in a way that he should not. That might run detrimental to the ultimate success of this team, and that's what I'm trying to dive into here. Having had all that time with him,
Yeah, so. He was always so supportive. He always wanted to do what was necessary to win, and I always felt like I didn't do a good enough job communicating, what we needed to do if there was a decision made that was against some of the things that I wanted to do, whether it was hiring someone or drafting someone or signing someone or making a decision about personnel or how we're doing things. And to me, it's the coach's job in any organization to create the vision for what you want the team and the program to be. And it's your job to lead, and it's your job to lead upward to ownership, to general managers, and certainly lead to your coaches and to your players and to all the staff members who work with the team. So anytime something didn't go in a direction that I felt like maybe we should have done it this way, I always put it back on myself to say, clearly I didn't communicate that well enough. I didn't make the argument the argument well enough to get the decision or the outcome that we wanted. It's a very collaborative organization.
So are you taking blame?
There's a lot of people. You have a lot of conversations about the decisions you want to make. Ultimately, Jerry is the owner, general manager. He makes the decisions. He's the one who drafts the player. But I always felt like when we did a good job, when I did a good job communicating the vision, communicating the reason why we wanted this particular guy, and we created consensus throughout the organization, that's when we did our best work. And any time we fell short of that, I put it back on myself for not doing my job well enough.
Jason Garrett here on the Rich Eisen Show, calling in from Canton, Ohio, Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, where the New Orleans Breakers and the Birmingham Stallions will battle in the South Division Final in the inaugural USFL playoffs that you can see on Saturday, 8 Eastern Time on NBC and Peacock. I wish you good luck on that, Jason, and let's chat down the line. I always love running into you whenever I do, and certainly this is one of them.
Okay, interesting interview. Of course, I forgot. Did you forget about the USFL? That they're playing in the Hall of Fame in Canada, in Canton, Ohio, for the championship, or was that the championship game? I forgot about. I'm sorry. Just forgot about it completely. Great field up there. The weather should be great for that. And, it'll be interesting to see that. So Jason Garrett had words, of course, from Mike McCarthy, advice, just be you and understand that people outside of the organization, it's a 24-hour news cycle, that they are trying to stir the pot and have something to talk about. We all know. I mean, literally, Pro Football Focus has become the biggest trolls of the Dallas Cowboys out there because, they will say stuff. They'll go through and get you believing that Diggs is the worst cornerback in football, and then a couple months later say he's the best press cornerback in football. They do and play these games to get a reaction because in the end, it's not about being truthful. It's about getting people to watch and to click and be part of what they're putting out there. And that's where the Cowboys, because they are the biggest franchise as far as following goes, as far as revenue goes, as far as interest goes, you either love the Cowboys or hate the Cowboys, they will go ahead and go through it. To have a team literally 12-5 in the second year after having lost their franchise quarterback, if it was any other team other than the Dallas Cowboys, you wouldn't hear that Mike McCarthy is on the hot seat. You just wouldn't. That's a great season. If you are the Jets, if you are the Carolina Panthers, if you are, the Miami Dolphins, if you are a multitude of teams, you're looking at this and saying, we're close. We're close, and we're going to be able to go through here. Here, they basically have told us that a 12-5 team is garbage because that's what they do with the 24-hour cycle. Interesting thing on this is Jason Garrett did not throw Jerry Jones under the bus. He kind of took blame and said, Jerry Jones, did the draft and picking the players, but it was my job to communicate to him the type of players and the needs that we have. And once we got those players, it was my job to get them in a position to win. So he's taking blame for not getting where they needed to be. Interesting. So that's what we have for you to start this morning. I have to run on and pick up some stuff and things and get going. And I will catch you guys later with other news. Micah Parsons was talking about Super Bowls. And we're going to be seeing Micah Parsons this weekend and delivering a Super Bowl message to him from our buddy Stuart Morrison. You know how we roll.
Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.